So as relating to the archons, I think I once heard you say that the Matrix just doesn't operate at this level. That what we call near-death experiences, the Matrix still operates at another level from this reality, and then if you go beyond that, you go to infinity.
Yeah, everything in the end comes down to perception. If you leave the body and you still perceive yourself in very limited terms, then you will experience your perceptions. I mean, all the time we are experiencing our perceptions. If you think you're a little me person, you will experience a little me life. Your perceptions become your experienced reality. That doesn't necessarily have to stop when you leave the body. When you leave the body, the way that you've been processing information within a narrow band of frequency may change. But if you still are perceiving yourself in limited terms, you will experience that limited reality. This is why it's so important, I suggest anyway, that when we leave the body at what we call death, that we are in awareness of our infinite nature, because that will allow you to gravitate out of these lower frequencies, which I say are running close to the frequencies that we are experiencing, and that can trap people. And again, the Gnostics talked about this, that there are levels of reality beyond what we call physical and experience as physical, which can entrap you. And what's entrapping you? Your perceptions are entrapping you. While you still have the perception of disconnection, of not being part of one whole, an expanded state of consciousness, your perceptions will lead to that reality. And so it's not only that they want to entrap perception within human society as we perceive it. They want to have that sense of separation. That's the word. When people leave the body as well, because although when you leave the body you obviously realize that there are other realities, if you've still got this sense of separation, then you will experience that separation as another level of this matrix. Once you go beyond the sense of separation, you recognize your own unique individuality, your own point of attention within the whole, but your self-identity is I am the whole having an experience. Then you can free yourself from these, what are perceptual prisons. The whole thing is perception. The whole thing is what you believe you perceive and what you perceive you experience. And this happens out of the body as much as in the body as well.
So many people that have described that they were Christians, that they left the body and they saw God, and Muslims, they were Muslims and they saw whatever their God is. Is there like this type of programming that goes on here?
Yeah.
So when they get up there, they're entrapped up there.
Yeah, I mean, if you believe...
Where do they go from there?
Well, if you believe...
Something rigidly.
If you believe that when you die something happens, perception becomes reality. So if you are a really strong Christian believer, that when you leave the body you'll see Jesus, you'll see Jesus. Someone else will see Muhammad, someone else will see something else. Because perception equals reality, perception becomes reality. This is why this cult wants to control perception. The more you perceive and associate yourself with a state of separation, the lower the frequency you'll resonate to. And therefore you will become attached to that frequency that you resonate to. Whereas when you see yourself as an expanded state of awareness, your frequency will express what you perceive. And therefore you will be able to gravitate to frequencies that can attach to, or even beyond the world of frequency if you go far enough. So, like I say, if you believe that you're little me and have no power, you'll live a life of little me and have no power. And that feedback loop will operate outside the body as much as it will operate in the body. And so the more that they can program even your perception of reality outside the body, then they are moving towards you experiencing that when it happens. I mean, if you believe in hell and I'm going to hell, well, people that that commit suicide in states of extreme trauma or despair, well, all those things are frequencies, and what you believe you perceive, what you perceive you experience.
So an old man that died of old age, and he didn't believe in anything, see what happens, maybe the lights go out, what would happen to him?
His perceptions will become his reality. But of course, don't forget that when we leave the body, we're no longer perceiving reality as we do in the body, and thus, people can or consciousness can wake up very fast to its true nature. It's not that it's like the idea that because you're in a certain state of mind perception that you're going to stoke the fires of hell forever. That's just another control mechanism.
Yeah.
Lots of people, near-death experiences, in enormous numbers, have had a perception of reality. When they've left the body in a near-death experience, they've experienced something else, and it's transformed their perception. So these things can happen very quickly. But if you're in an extreme state of belief, then you'll manifest that belief outside the body as you will inside the body.